Hello and welcome back to Mountain Bike Action. My name is JJ, and gone are the days of us testing ultra high quality super bikes, if you will. Instead, we're just gonna test the more budget friendly bike. Now, I'm only kidding, but this bike kind of fits into that ultra budget category. It's actually from Walmart, but it kind of ticks all the boxes. It has 29-inch wheels, a suspension fork, disc brakes, a sort of high range drivetrain, and it's made out of aluminum. You could even add a dropper post if you want. So we're gonna ride this bike right now and tell you what we think, and if you should maybe go to Walmart and grab a $350, $400 bike. So we've been out here for a little while now, filming and doing little laps on this cool little XC track that we have out here. And there's a couple of things that are definitely noticeable right off the bat with this bike. The fork particularly is very clunky. When you kind of push in or push out of anything, it doesn't have any rebound adjustment, rebound damping, anything like that. It just clunks right off the top, which is a little bit uncomfortable coming off of jumps, but you know, it's kind of what we would expect. You know, you can see there's a little gathering of oil on it, and again, something I might expect from a bike like this. The other part that makes it a really loud bike is the drivetrain. There's no clutch, there's no, you know, there's nothing to keep the chain from hitting the very exposed chainstay, which is, you know, in and of itself very loud, especially when you're going down anything that's chattery or, you know, you're hitting any bumps at any rate of speed. It's very loud. Overall, like, ride impressions, it wasn't as bad as I might have thought I expected it to be. One thing for sure, on the descents, especially at first, the brakes had no bite at all. I was coming down some sections and I was just like white knuckling it 2 or 3 fingers on the brake levers to try to stop. As they wore in a little bit more, I was able to do 2 and sometimes even 1 finger braking on the rear brake, and then I always did 2 in the front, which, you know, isn't ideal, especially not for control, but it worked well enough. You know, they're cheap brakes. They're not gonna be super bitey, or they're not gonna work super well, which is fine. I was impressed by the tires. The tires actually grabbed pretty well in the dirt. We rode a little bit of a variety of dirt, from loose to, you know, kind of more hard packed. And these are very fast rolling tires. They're very similar to like a small block 8 or something from Kenda. These are Kenda tires, but I don't know what they are because they don't really say. Overall feel of the bike, especially on the climbs, was good. The climbing on this bike felt really good. I mean, it's a hardtail. It's got fairly decent climbing geometry. We were over the bottom bracket a little bit. It was easy to put the power down. In certain sections, there was a little bit of flex I felt in either the rear tire or the rear triangle when I was really putting the power down, but it wasn't enough to like cause me any concern. One thing I did notice is when I pushed, especially on the right pedal, the brake would rub. So there was obviously some sort of flex in there. So saying all of that, what do we think this bike could be good for? Well, based on the price point, you know, where we got it, this is something that the person who has never experienced mountain biking before, never even looked at a mountain bike, you know, will go out and buy, and, you know, will have a decent time on the trails. We always recommend, especially from Walmart, checking all of the components and everything, making sure everything's tight, because that was a problem with this bike. We did have to adjust a few things, tighten a bunch of things. You know, so it might be worth taking to your local bike shop to kind of do a once over, even though that is relatively expensive, especially compared to how inexpensive the bike is itself. But any rider who's never done it before, who wants to go out, maybe experience a pump track, maybe experience their local XC loop, or even just, you know, in town on a bike path riding and wants to hit some dirt on the side, it's a great bike for that. If you wanted to start like small local races, you know, Cat 3 or whatever, this could survive that. we wouldn't recommend carrying it on to the next level, but as far as a good starter bike that'll get you a good feel for the mountains, for the trails, and how a bike is supposed to be ridden, a mountain bike is supposed to be ridden, we definitely recommend it. If you like this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have anything to say, or maybe you have this bike and you'd like to give your opinion on it. Let us know. Again, leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel, but also to the magazine. You can get monthly magazines delivered straight to your door. Yes, paper copies, or we also have a digital version that will be linked in the description below. That's all we have to say about this bike right here. So until our next video, we'll see you out on the trails. It's not always as easy as it looks.